Vamagila Gila. Oh, oh, this is for the little child with no father, for the man who doesn't have a place to stay, for that little boy living with AIDS. Can I tell you a story? Tell you a story. You can lean on me. There's a man, oh yes, standing on the corner. He has no home, he has no food, and his blue skies are gone. Yes, it is. Can't you hear him crying out? And there is a girl searching for a father and a friend, praying that the storm someday will end. But instead of walking away, open up your heart and say, I am here. You don't have to worry. I can see. I can see your tears. Your tears, I'll be there. In a hurry, you call. Yes, I will. Friends are there to catch you when you fall. Here's my shoulder. Here's my shoulder. You can lean on me. Hallelujah. Oh, listen. Oh, there's a child who is sick and begging to be free. But there is no cure for his disease. He looks up at his mother, and as she holds his hand, praying that someday the sun will shine again, and the pain will end. The pain will end. Come on. I am here. I am here. You don't have to worry. You don't have to worry. I can see. I see your tears. Your tears, yeah. I'll be there in a hurry when you call. I'll be there in a hurry when you call. Friends are there to catch you when you fall. I'm your friend, and I'll catch you when you fall. Here's my shoulder. You can lean on me. Here's my shoulder. You can lean on me. Tell me, how can I love Jesus when I've never seen his face? Yeah, I see you dying, and you turn and walk away. So hold my hand. Oh, let me take you to a friend of mine. He's waiting just to ease your troubled mind. Yeah, he loves you more than you'll ever know. Instead of walking away, open up your heart and say, come on, I am here, and you don't have to worry. I can see your tears. I'll be there in a hurry when you call. Hallelujah. When you call, friends will be there to catch you when you fall. Here's my shoulder. You can lean on me. Thank you, Jesus. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Here's my shoulder. You can lean on me. Here's my shoulder. You can lean on me. You can lean on me. Lean on me. Yeah. Oh. This is for the little child with no father, for that man that doesn't have a place to stay, for the little boy living with AIDS. Can I tell you a story? Tell you a story. You can lean on me. When I wake up, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who wakes up next to you. When I go out, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who wakes up and goes along with you. If I get drunk, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who gets drunk next to you. And if I have a, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who's havering to you. But I will work 500 miles, and I would walk 500 more, just to be the man who walks 1,000 miles to fall down at your door. When I'm working, yes, I know I'm gonna be the man who's working hard for you. When the money comes in for the work I do, I pass almost every penny on to you. When I come home, oh, I'll know I'm gonna be the man who comes home back to you. And if I grow old, well, I'm gonna grow old, I'm gonna be old, who's growing old with you. But I will walk 500 miles, and I would walk 500 more, just to be the man who walked 1,000 miles before unto your door. When I'm lonely, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who's lonely without you. And when I'm dreaming, well, I know I'm gonna dream about the time when I was with you. When I go out, well, I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you. And when I come home, yes, I know I'm gonna be the man who comes home with you. I'm gonna be the man who's coming home with you. But I will walk 500 miles, and I will walk 500 miles more, just to be the man who walked 1,000 miles to fall down at your door. And I would walk 500 miles, and I would walk 500 more, just to be the man who walked 1,000 miles to fall down at your floor. Vamagila Gila, thank you for joining me. I'm Lord Dandy, and welcome to the show. I thought I'd change that. Jennifer Gordon, how you doing? Covers, freestyling, yeah, baby, yeah. Oh, my dear. Yeah, I really ruined it, actually. I will walk 500 more, just to be the man who walked 1,000 miles before into your door. I just can't get the data. Da 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 da. Hello, it's dark. I'm in darkness. It's darkness, baby. It's darkness. So we rather leave it like that. Please double tap the screen for a thumbs up. It's that easy and it's for free. And I thank you very much for joining me. I wanted to do a live, and then I thought, no, I shouldn't go live. And now I'm sitting comfortably in bed, and I thought, let me go live just for a short little one. No, she's not going to be here. Mindful Nuance asks, I came here for Rose. Is she gonna be here or not? No, darling, not. It's not. Snot. She's not gonna be here. Unless she wants to be in the comments. Maybe as Radical Rose, she'll come up. Maybe she's already here. Maybe she is you. You are the sock, my dear. Yes. So, it turns out that Max Smith is still trying to cover the trail. How many accounts do you know? Jennifer says, how many accounts does Rose have? More than me, I can guarantee. More than me. Yeah. What can I say, my dear? There's no fighting. There's no point. I am over. I'm done with the fighting. You cannot fight fire with fire. You cannot call people who call you names other names. All it does is if I start repeating the words that Team Rose says to me in the emails or in my chat and get triggered by her words. Yes, it is a shame, Mindful of Nuance. It is a shame how many socks Rose has. But if I start repeating exactly the same words back, it will just only make me look bad. Truly. I've done it before. I've learned from my lessons. Sometimes we learn from our lessons. Jojo Payne Diaz, I haven't seen you in a long time. Trigger yourself or not. Trigger yourself or not. Wine, so still the same one. Why so many accounts? Oh, wait, I know why. I forget my password at an old age. No, you have a point there, Jennifer. You have a point. And all you need is a fingerprint these days. You don't even need your password anymore. You just need a fingerprint. Ask Avery. She knows well. Mary Jane. Guaranteed there's hundreds connected to her IP. Yes, but the IP is connected to the instrument that you're using. Yeah? So if you change the instrument, like if you want to search my IP now, you will find it in the United Kingdom. And the time now in the United Kingdom is 7:46 p.m. But in Africa, it is 8:46 p.m. And that's funny, isn't it? Funny ha-ha or funny strange? It's funny strange, darling. Jennifer says sometimes hurt people hurt people. No, all of the time, hurt people hurt people. So much So they hurt themselves more in the process. That's the whole point. I don't want to hurt myself. I don't want to hurt my channel. I don't want to hurt you, because I'm enough of a, what do you call it, a fence sitter. A fence sitter offends the most. Jennifer, and when they're so hurt, it's up to them to want to change and fight and bite their pride and ask for help. What was the, these are the 7 deadly sins, eh? Pride, envy, and wrath. Wrath. That's what we saw. We saw the spirit and the demon, which is the same word, just different genres of decades or centuries in our civilization. These words appeared. Wrath. That the spirit of wrath comes down upon Maine. And it's no wonder that they actually have wooden houses and they still remain. I am not Rose, I am her tribe. You her team, yes. Mindful nuance. Whatever. You are welcome here. Just like Rose is welcome. She's always welcome if she wants to subject herself to new opinions. Humble, not. Jennifer says, no negativity, period. Try it. Children can try this at home. No, no, no. No more negativity. Thoughts, words, actions. I was taught this at a very young age. Stop with the bad thoughts, Lionel. Stop the bad, negative thoughts. And I thought, okay, I'll try. And I did. It worked. Because my bad thoughts bring upon calamity and destruction. Truly, my bad thoughts bring upon the world fire and destruction. MJD says 5 main traits often associated with narcissism include grandiose sense of self-importance, a constant need of admiration, a lack of empathy, a sense of entitlement and manipulative or exploitative behavior. These traits can significantly impact relationships and daily life and may or may not be indicative of narcissistic personality disorder. NPD, as opposed to MJD. MPD. Jennifer says, no negativity, period. Try it. Children can try this at home. No, no, no. No more negativity. Thoughts, words, and actions. Then aren't we all narcissistic, Jennifer asks. Well, Jennifer, it is, I believe, a defense mechanism initially. We are all narcissistic. It is a great power to have narcissism, to protect yourself. But when it becomes a personality disorder, is when you are manipulating a person or a situation to go in your favor, which is generally to the discomfort, ultimately. Discomfort and dissatisfaction of everyone else except for the narcissist. It's important to have narcissistic abilities, I believe. Unfortunately, I think I've learned since I've been on YouTube that I've learned about narcissism and narcissists. And it's not like I never experienced narcissists in my life. I grew up around narcissists, true narcissists. But I only knew and found out that that is actually, it is a disorder and it is a character of human nature. But I've also seen other people grow up in families that there were no narcissists. There were families that praised their children through the thick and through the thin. They uplifted their children, whatever, and loved them through whatever problems. It's the modern lifestyle, I think, is the biggest problem. Mostly. You know, we come out of the age of the 70s and 80s, where the 80s was the divorce boom in the world, where a woman was allowed to get divorced, not in a Catholic country, actually. To get a divorce, it takes 7 years to be separated, and then you get divorced, and then you get excommunicated once you get your divorce papers. But we grew, and so you have this option. You're allowed to get divorced, and so this is emancipation. The woman is allowed to get divorced. She can tell the court and the judge, "I hate my children. I hate my husband. I want to leave. I want to go." And then only to find out 3 months later, "Oh, I've made such a mistake, and I'm so sorry, and I'm crying, and I'm in tears." Well, my dears, it's the same situation we have in South Africa with genuine, intelligent, educated people who really believe that it would rather be better that all the rich people give their businesses, talking of the old money, just hand it over to the black owners, and that they will be successful and thrive as a people by doing that. It's ridiculous. It's like divorcing your children. It's very sad. And the point doesn't get through to people. You can try with all your might. You try and explain, this is wrong. You're making the wrong choice. No. It's fine when you're fighting for something. But then when you get what that thing that you were fighting for, and that thing that you were fighting for turns out to be a failure, but you do have a victory because you got what you wanted for. You got exactly what you asked for. But then you see, oh, it doesn't work. Well, then how clever were you in the first place? Just because you have a ding-a-ling doesn't mean you're the boss of everything. Do you know what I mean? You know, okay, so I have a ding-a-ling, but I know I'm not the boss of everything, and I know I've just got so much more to learn. And we live in a patriotic system. Doesn't matter, East meets West, China, America, Russia is all patriotic. Changed my mind. We come from thousands of years. You know, just a simple example is astrology and astronomy for that matter. Astrology is older. And Uranus was discovered, the planet. The planet was discovered in, I think, 1777 or 1778 or 1770 something, 1770. They discovered this wandering star. It wasn't called Uranus. You see, they had already had our personal planets. Of course, the Sun, the Moon, Mercury, Mars, Venus, Earth, Saturn. Those were the only planets until they discovered Saturn 300 years ago. Because they invented the technology to see further with a telescope. It wasn't called Uranus. It was called the star of King George when they found it, when they discovered this is now a traveling planet. This is a planet that's within our solar system. It's not a set Orion star. They called it the planet or the star of King George. And because the West, in our way, who speak English, decided because Mercury, Mars, Venus, Saturn were all part of the Greek pantheon, they changed the name of the star of King George to Uranus to make it not so English-centric, anglicized, what's the word? Anglification. So colonized. And then we get the same with Africans. Africans have this need to have the African version of everything. And nothing's stopping them. I mean, the Chinese, the Sumerians, the Persians, the Middle East, the Indians, they have different names for their stars. The Chinese call, like, Jupiter the Great Star. You know, they kept it really simple. They didn't take it on to the Greek pantheon. But we as the Western world follow democracy. Yeah, African follows democracy. Yeah, where do we get democracy? From Greece. And that's why we name these planets after Eurocentric, white-centric, patriarchal systems. They have their names. If you're going to grow up offended by these past afflictions of humanity, you're not going to have a long life. You're going to be fighting on a hill that's shameful, that's embarrassing. You cannot learn more if you cannot accept what other people have been taught. MJD says 5 main traits often associated with narcissism is grandiose sense of self-importance, a constant need of admiration, a lack of empathy, a sense of entitlement, and manipulative or exploitative behavior. Their traits can significantly impact relationships and daily life, and may or may not indicate the narcissistic personality disorder. And MJD, Jennifer asks, then aren't we all narcissistic? MJD answers, definitely not. Jennifer asks, I do think we are all a little narcissistic, but those who have empathy, that empathy fights that narcissism. But if we have kindness, love, self-love, I think that narcissism kind of dissipates. You know, there are heroes in our life. Hi, Iraq. Thank you for joining. I'm just rambling. I hope you don't take offense. I must learn to not gossip and talk about people, especially if they're in the chat. If they're not in the chat, maybe they don't hear it, unless somebody clips it. Yes, we all can change, Jennifer. We have the choice. Now I lost my train of thought. There are special people in this world, very special. You know me, I praise Jesus, I praise God, but then you get the Christians who will call me not Christian. And then you get the Christians who call Catholics not Christians. But the truth of the matter is everything that we do in this life, and whether you like it or not, we've been doing it as a humanity, as a civilization for thousands and millions of years. It's called ritual. And just like the pagan will make an altar and pray to the altar, a Catholic will go into the cathedral and light a candle and make a prayer. Ritual is important, but it's earthly and Saturnian. It is limiting. But if we don't have it, we don't understand each other. It's like language. You know the Tower of Babel? Once the same languages were taken away, they couldn't communicate. There was no progress anymore, whether that story be true or not. Jennifer, me too. The more, since I found out what narcissism is and what narcissists are, and even though I think my mother is a narcissist, her husband is a narcissist, everyone older than me is a narcissist, and that one's a narcissist, then I start realizing, and you start, well, not you, sometimes we can look at our track record and see what we did through the day, and we can actually notice, well, that was slightly narcissistic. Or if I do something online, and I thought, wow, I was the total narcissist there, wasn't I now? But it is a protection mechanism. It's a shield. Okay, cool, Ruck. Thanks for saying hi. I understand how that is. When you're on catch up and you just want to say, I'm here, but I'm catching up from the beginning. Thank you. MJD says, the 4Ds of narcissism is a framework that outlines a cycle of manipulative and abusive behavior often seen in narcissistic relationships: deny, dismiss, devalue, and divorce or discard. Well, yes. You know, it's a control mechanism. That's all it is. It's when the subject is down and out and needs something, then the narcissist will be the best person in the world, your best friend, and even say, I love you. The narcissist is not scared of saying, I love you, until you feel loved, and then you get corrected and you get disciplined. A narcissist loves to discipline people. MJD, the cycle can be repeated, says, creating a harmful pattern for the person experiencing it. Yes. Great points, Jennifer. MJD, misconceptions. People often misunderstand narcissism. It's not just excessive self-love. In fact, those with NPD, narcissistic personality disorder, may have a fragile sense of self and be highly sensitive to criticism. Seek professional help if you are concerned that you or someone you know might be struggling with NPD. It's called cluster B disorder. Cluster B. Search cluster B in your Google text and you'll find the NPD. It's crucial to seek professional help from therapist or counselor. Now, this is my point with therapy and counseling. No, hell to the nay, no, no, nay. I don't want a therapist or a counselor. Not in my. There's just too few people in my country. I'd rather go to therapy with a computer, with a AI artificially induced. I don't want to have a real human as a therapist, because I will automatically assume immediately that the therapist is actually a narcissist. And that's why they're in that position of authority. Jennifer says, we can learn and practice love and acceptance. No, well, we choose. It is a choice. You said that earlier. You either choose, and with that choice takes a certain amount of humility. You can't be vain. Vain is narcissistic. A smile is universal, yet, my darling Mary Jane D. Doe Donut, narcissists love to smile. They will smile when they're talking to you, even when they're angry. Do you know it's a medical disorder to smile too much? Jennifer says, I smile at you, my love, MJ. Let me ruin that. MJD says, to reduce narcissistic tendencies, focus on building self-awareness, practicing empathy, and cultivating healthy relationships. This involves recognizing and accepting imperfections in yourself and others, actively listening to and valuing the perspectives of others, and seeking professional help when needed. Well, I want to ask you this. When do you know if you're mad? Do you know you're mad? Or does somebody else tell you you're mad? Good morning, Max Smith. I hope you're well. You sexy Californian, you. You've got such a young voice. At least we know it's not 3 Dave. Jennifer Gordon says, we all want to be in control. Well, a few can follow, but we also want to be right. So if we want to be right and in control, I say do the opposite of the narcissist is doing or saying or doing. Exactly. MJD says, I'd rather be happy than right. You're also right, MJD. Jennifer says, hello, everybody. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you're well. This is just a short check-in. I'm not supposed to really go live now, but look at you. Look at you. Everybody's sitting here by church. I mean, even church has got these rituals. And the rituals are narcissistic. Doing the ritual tells you that you are inferior, that you seek help. So it's not you that's narcissistic. It's forcing yourself to do the ritual. Look, fancy tramp. Oh, I'm going to fall off my chair. Hello, you. Howdy doody. Fancy meeting you here. It's been 100 years, or maybe just one. Where have you been? That was a long sabbatical you went on, Fancy. Long time no see. Makes me very happy to see you here. Max Smith, I think, is his own person as well. Yes, I do. It's unfortunate, I have to sit on defense with Jeffrey and the Watcher and Max Smith, and all of them, are equal subscribers and viewers and contributors to my channel. And Fancy Champ too is an OG here. So it's it's difficult because you want to make your case, state your case with me about who's who and who's who not. And I mean, we have, for the lack of a better word, the thorn bird really having a hard time trying to work out who the trolls are and who is connected to who. And oh, that kraken is not the original kraken, she says to me. That kraken is from Australia or England or South Africa. And I said, I want to know something, Thornbird. Tell me something. Do you have a passport? Have you been to one of those countries you speak of? Just because you have a YouTube channel and you go live and you have Australians and English and South Africans in your chat does not mean you know buckshit about anything of those countries or even the people that come from those countries. This is a load of bullshit. Just because you and Leanie think that you've spent your lives popping babies out and keeping homes for people, and that you're American, that you know exactly how everything works in this world. With your narcissistic abilities, knowing how to control men. That's all it is. You know exactly how to control men. You know how to switch their triggered button on, and you know how to switch the other triggered button on. Yeah? The one upstairs and the one downstairs. This is an adult entertainment show. I missed you, big banana. I missed you. He's got a very big banana. San Banana. MJD says, I'm curious if people really believe that I'm a meth addict person who lives in my mom's basement. Shame. And that's ab hominem. She does it so well and repetitively all the time. If you repeat a lie continuously, eventually people believe it. You know, I was raised by a genius, but a simple man. And in the household, there was this was the rule. It was the standard in our home that the toilet roll paper would roll down at the back behind by the tiles of the wall. That's how you put the toilet roll on the toilet roll. Only to find out when I turned 30 to get a job in a hotel that their standard in the hotel is no, you put the paper over the front and that's how you roll it down. So specific. So it was almost beaten into us. Do not put the toilet roll the wrong way around at home growing up. Meantime, we were doing it against the standard of international norms in hotels. Now, there's no real, who the fuck really cares? It's only the international hotel standard norm. You don't have to follow them. You don't have to live in a hotel room. You don't have to, you can live in a pigsty. But it depends on what your beliefs are. And your beliefs could be completely wrong. Well, not wrong, just different. Max, you're Californian. Of course you'll have a passport. Because you like, she has a passport. I'm not going to talk about it. These people, let me just tell you about some of these. Now, you guys, MJD, you're not a sock. Jennifer, you're not a sock. Fancy Tramp, you're a half a sock. You're a holy sock. Max, you're a sock of you. You're not a sock. But you used to have really red M and not orange M. But anyway, Cowards. Cowards. Even the socks and even the bugs that I've swatted. I've swatted a few flying, feathered friends over the last couple of months. And then they block me in Messenger. And then they unblock me and send me a message. And then when I want to say something, then they block me again. That's called a coward. That's a coward. And I have no time for that. You hear me, Sierra? Zero time for you. No longer. Jennifer says, I just received my passport the other day. When can I come to, to anyone? MJD. Or do they know that that person they're listening to is a blatant liar? Or do they know that that person that they're listening to doesn't even know that they're a blatant liar? People don't do it on purpose. They don't. You know, I was raised by my mother, and she has categories for her lies. Do you know that? She has categories. There are different categories of lies. And there's a certain threshold that lies are acceptable. And it runs in her family. It's shocking, I know, but it's true. And look, maybe women will find this more understandable because women need to protect their dignity, I suppose. But from everyday lies to white lies to little lies to tales to big lies. Do you know what they say, actually? And this is not my mother or her family, but it's the biggest lie that is easier to cover up because people don't want to know the truth. That's not control, Jennifer says. Why don't we just learn to guide? You know, I live in a country where we just shout. Do you know that? We just shout. The white men my age in construction, all they do is shout. Scream and shout. That's they believe that's the only way to get through. And then the black, generally construction worker, or young, white, meth head construction worker, that's the only way they learn because they're a method. And you need to, you know, bang in that truth. You need to learn this way. Some people are raised that way. They only are raised with forcefulness. I mean, we're really just talking about fluff. At the end of the day, you come from dust, you go to dust. People are just trying to make money, and that's why they scream. Fancy Champ, MJ, I think you are in the privileged position to be well known, yet not known at all. No, MJD, you can check out her channel. Put your channel in the comments, MJD. She has a normal channel. I have a bad habit, MJD, of not keeping my private life private. I made that mistake far too many times with Team Rose by opening up in the emails, and then sometimes I just, you know, say what I feel like saying, not like, you know, yeah, Mel's a man, you know, and just stupid things like that, not knowing that in 2 years' time, that's going to fucking be thrown in my face for everyone to hear that I said that. Now she's reading out emails or telling me, you said this about that person, you said that about that person. It's like, well, okay, fine. That's the end of the emails, darling. I'm just going to read the ones you send me. I'm not emailing you back. because there is certain things in this life called limitations. MJD says, I don't believe in wasting our great gifts from Mother Earth. The paper does go over the front. Yes, that's the front of the roll. It must go over the front. But I'm not going to argue. It's a standard. If that's the standard, then that's the standard. And that's the international standard. It's not wrong or right. That's just the way that internationally they do it. You can do it the opposite way. There's a huge argument on Facebook in South Africa about, because most of us were told, no, you put it at the back. But no, most of us weren't educated. We were living middle-class lives, but we knew fuck all about real life. Fancy Tramp, as someone that is trusted and entered people's homes, I believe firmly in not messing with people's stuff, except to swap the toilet rolls around. But it's also not a big deal if people want to put it the other way around. MJD says, well, you see, this is what I'm telling you. How do you know what you believe is true? And how do you know what you know? And even though you believe it, you believe that is the truth. Why? Who told you? Maximus, MJD, do I make no judgments on people? I make no judgments on people, except for Lini, which I don't mind anymore. She is a narcissist. Fancy Tramp says, Lionel, half a sock. It's your world boss, lol. It is. Ankle sock. He's a leg warmer. He's a leg warmer. You're my fluffer. You're my fluffy leg warmer, Fancy Tramp. Mary Jane D. Max, I try hard not to judge people, although we are here chatting, typing, and sharing. Look, judgment is also another protection mechanism. We do judge. But now I've also learned to keep my judgments to myself, especially on YouTube. We all come from different paths of life, different families, different regions of the planet, different countries, different cultures, different religions. For me to retain my subscriber base, I've got to walk the fence and not offend too many different types of people, because most people just don't believe anything I think about or believe about or talk about. You've got to keep it very mild. An ankle sock. It's a cuff. It's a cufflink. Tramp says passing judgment is human nature. Exactly. Keeping it to oneself is a choice. Exactly. And if you have an opinion, that's great. You are entitled to your opinion. It's only when you express your opinion when you get judged yourself by popular opinion. MJD says, I think white lies to prevent people from being hurt are acceptable. Well, you see, there we go. There is now, we have our own degrees of discernment. And yes, especially if you're a mother or a parent and you're raising children, sometimes you rather keep the lie until they're old enough for them to understand things and make their own judgments in things. Because those lessons will come for them when they come home from school and they talk about things and then you explain how things work. But that's if you're not a narcissist parent that won't explain things to your child. Max Smith says, MJD, most people carry a very heavy burden. I do not want to make it heavier. Well, sometimes, sometimes the time comes and we all play a part in each other's lives, whether online or in real life. We choose. I've got the neighbor's cat is moving in and stealing my cat's food. Shame. Just let him in. You can't fight him. He needs food. Oh dear. Oh, and he's a huge cat. He's a huge cat. I need to find a name for the cat. I'll call him Knock. Knocky! Jennifer says, truth can bring failure or success. Like I say in my readings, truth is a hollow victory, yes. No one likes the truth. No one. The truth is painful to accept. Like mothers know this. I don't know if you're a mother, Jennifer. She came yesterday. It's an old friend of mine. She's got a 3-month-old child. And she's a single mum. And she's going through her postnatal depression. She's going through it. And she has to go and change the nappy. She says he's just getting rid of his demons. And that's the talk that she's talking. And I want to tell her, just don't speak like that around him. Just worship and praise him. Love him. The boy needs worship and praise in the first 25 years. And then hopefully you have a success. Jennifer says it's okay to be scared of, but if you at least try, I don't think you failed all. Well, you see, Jennifer, I'm always the one because I'm Gemini, I want to express, I want to tell everybody the news. And then you realize, oh, well, nobody wants to hear that news. You have to judge the room, you know. You do have to judge the room. And sometimes, just like as a parent has to tell the child the truth, is painful. It's not easy. It's difficult. Truth is difficult to understand and comprehend. Well, Jennifer says, well, if only narcissists use their power for good instead of evil. I don't believe that narcissists actually, because it's a disorder, it's like a dementia. Do you tell a person that they have dementia? No, because they won't remember it tomorrow. It's useless. It's pointless. Narcissists don't think they're evil. They really don't think they're evil. They think they're doing the right thing. Some others, no, you get nasty people. Really, they're not narcissists. They're just nasty people using narcissism as a tool to control. Why did you say that? Mel is just a beautiful woman. She's a beautiful person. Can I do a wrench? Oh, yeah, I can't. It doesn't. Let me go on my phone quickly. You can grab her link there. She put it there. Yeah, there's no right or wrong in JD. There's only forgiveness and understanding and caring and intention, which means that's love. Love. Love is all we need. Hey, Christian Carpenter, Cece, it's good to see you here. Thank you very much for joining, my dear. I hope you're the real Fancy Tramp. No, Heathcliff, it's true, it's not me, it's not my. Who was that singer again? Heathcliff, it's me, it's Stacy. I've come home. The flowers on the top of my page are also a real photo that took my flowers by myself. Meow. Vote now. It's already there. It's done. It's done. The truth is, in my experience, the truth hurts in my experience. It does hurt. And sometimes we don't need to know the truth. And that's why the government knows. The public must not know the truth. We have to stay in lockstep and double tap, darling. Double tap the screen. It's not difficult. Just tap, tap. This is free. Tap, tap. You know, if a asteroid is coming to the planet, we always hear, oh, there's an asteroid that's going to miss the planet by 20,000 kilometers. If it's going to hit us, they're not going to warn us. We will never be warned of a nuclear bomb because it'll just happen. Is there thunder? Wait, by me? No, it's my bed, creaky bed. It's a creaky bed, MJD. It is sad. My mother, I come out of the house in the morning and I say, good morning. She looks at me, morning. And then I come out again like 30 minutes later or 5 minutes later. And then she looks at me and she says, morning. I say, oh, good morning. I've learned now to say, oh, good morning. Before I used to say, I just said good morning to you. She says, why are you shouting at me? She'll remember what happened 20 years ago, but she doesn't remember what happened 5 minutes ago. It's just scary. Dementia come fast, or be delayed for many years. It is a frontier doctors know little about. You know what I learned? It's one thing that they say encourages dementia is toothlessness. When they don't put their teeth in, dementia comes quicker. Faster, I don't know. Now my mother forgets to put her teeth in. Fancy trap. You demon, you. I never hear my spaniel, but by Christ, you know when he's exorcised his demons. Poop, poop. I was just going to say, welcome to the Knight's Table. Wow. Wrong chat. Shout out to Martin. Sorry, Lionel. On with the show. Well, darling Jennifer, he is only a copycat. We all copy each other. Where do you think he came up with the Lord business? When I started calling him a Lord and a Sir, it came from me, my good lady. And you know, to get Americans to deal with the word Lord, you know, we know that lady in Mississippi who's still blocked from this channel. She cannot chat, unfortunately. Not now, and not in the near future either. For Americans to accept the word Lord, do you know how I got that to happen? Because my name before was grilled cheese, and then before that was Morning Glory. And then I changed to Lord Dandy. Why? To try and, in Afrikaans it's called gatkreep, a lick ass to Team Rose, because she was making, it was 2 summers ago, she was making dandelion tea, and I thought, that's it. I'm a dandy. In the old days, they called the fags dandies. Lion, I'm dandelion. Well, you can just call me Lord. But Mississippi Talker says, hell to the nay, nay, nay. I'm not calling you damn Lord. I said, but darling, have you not watched the Bridgertons? Yeah? On Netflix. No, obviously you won't because you're American. What is the feminine word for Lord? Please, pray, tell. What is the feminine word for Lord? Do you know? Put it in the comments. Max says, those who exercise and remain engaged socially seem to delay it. My mother-in-law is a case in study. That's the dementia. My mother is very polite and she knows, but she won't know where to find the fucking knives and forks, or she won't do things what she used to do. But why? Why? She just won't. It seems like it's an act. There we go, MJD. Lady. It's Lord and Lady. It's not a title. It's better than Sir. Sir is an actual knight. Lord is it's a man with nobility. It's a man with credibility. That's what a lord is. A lady is a woman with credibility. Someone. But I tell you, I don't know if you know the novel called Little Woman. Have you heard of it? Little Woman. Remember Little Woman? No, was it Little Women or Little Ladies? It was called Little Women. I can't remember now. My sister had it as a set work book at school in the 80s. We should all do that, exactly. Lord, lady, lady, lord. It's better than gentleman, because these men are not gentle. Have you heard Jeremy? He's not gentle at all. Love you, Jeremy. Sending love. Lord is perhaps from landed, as in landed gentry. Okay, so definition of landed gentry. Okay, so the term landed gentry refers to a historical social class in Britain and Ireland, composed of individuals who owned land, primarily country estates, and derived their income from rents and property ownership rather than trade or industry. They were considered part of the aristocracy, but ranked below the titled nobility or peerage. So it's below a sir. I think you get Lord, Earl, Princess, no, no, it's Judge. First you get the Judge, then you get the Earl, then it's Princess, then Prince, Duchess, Duke, King, Queen, Emperor, Empress. You're just a fancy tramp. You're no lord. So you're a gimp, fancy tramp. You're a gimp. I have to say good night now. I've done my hour. I love you guys, ladies and lords. It's time to go. Landlord. Well, this is my land. This is your land. This is my land. This land is your land. Is that actually a song that you would know? It is a song. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Island, from the redwood forests to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. As I went walking in the ribbon of highway, and I saw above me that endless skyway. I saw below me the golden valley. This land is made for you and me. I'm the king's oracle, says Jennifer. Okay, I'm going to, this is my favorite for the year. It's a song I can read and sing at the same time. Oh, man, just give me the lyrics, man. This man is your land. This land is my man. From California to New York Island, from the Redwood Falls to the Golden Stream waters, this land is made for you and me. On a warm summer's evening, on a train bound for nowhere, I met up with a gambler, where we both too tired to sleep, so we took turns in staring out of the window at the darkness till boredom overtook us, and he began to speak. He said, "Son, I've made a life out of reading people's faces, and knowing what the cards were by the way they held their eyes. So if you don't mind me saying, I can see you're out of aces. For a taste of your whiskey, I'll give you some advice." So I handed him my bottle, and he drank down my last swallow. Then he bummed a cigarette, and he asked me for a light. And the night got deathly quiet, and his face lost all expression. Said, "If you're gonna play the game, boy, you gotta learn to play it right. You gotta know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done." Every gambler knows that the secret to surviving is knowing what to throw away and knowing what to keep. Because every hand's a winner and every hand's a loser. And the best that you can is hope for is to die in your sleep. And when he finished speaking, he turned back toward the window, crashed out his cigarette, and faded off to sleep. And somewhere in the darkness, the gambler, he broke even. But in his final words, I found an ace that I could keep. You got to know when to hold them. You got to know when to fold them. You got to know when to walk away, and you got to know when to run. You've never count your money when you're sitting at the table. There'll be enough for counting. There'll be enough time for counting when the dealing's done. You got to know when to fold them, know when to hold them. I wish I could read, hey, then it wouldn't ruin my singing. Thank you guys for joining me. Thanks for your double taps. I really appreciate that. Life does get tougher, but we get smarter, and then you try a little bit harder. It does get better indeed. Thank you for your subscriptions. For those on the catch-up, I love you too. Life does get tougher, but we get smarter. Become the light at the end of my tunnel when you hit the subscribe button, you hit the little bell for more notifications. Peace. Shalom. Salam alaikum. Ek is lief vir jou. Elibedig. Siyabonga. Rialabonga. Ngiyabonga. Hambagagle. Salagagle. Choose. Later Gators, as in the Knights of Calgary. What did you call it? The Knights of the Round Table would say laters in England, but what we say is, indeed, we do. We say slanger to the Irish. We say arrivederci to the Italians. We say san banani to the Zulus. We say totsins to the Afrikaners, and we say later gators to the Southerners. And we say choose to the Germans. Bye. You're the best. I love you very much. Till next time. Cheers to the queers, applause to the whores, and huck to a jolly good fuck. And my name ain't Ruck.